How many times have you thrown out the cookies and chips and said, I'm going to start eating healthy? Well, it's a good step, but it may not be the most important one. And Dr. Shayesteh is here to tell you why.
Dave, this is interesting research published by Harvard University Medical School. Now, for the first time, shows that by changing our nutrition, we can actually retrain our brain to start craving for healthy food and less craving for basically unhealthy food. Of course, none of us born, Dave, with a special love for French fries, cheeseburger, or all the unhealthy
all the stuff
foods.
we just ate at
Correct.
the fair.
And well, we don't have also not born with a special hate for whole wheat pasta, fresh fruits and vegetables. The reality that we learn these behaviors over time by repetitively eating these foods. So more repetitively eating the wrong food, actually brain is going to crave more. If you look at this slide over here, it's interesting. When we are consuming, for example, too much sugar and fat, look what happens. This is the brain of a person who's addicted to sugar. When they consume the sugar, look at the extent of activity of the reward center. But at the same time, look, this is a person, no addiction for sugar, they're consuming sugar, but look at the extent of response over there. Now we know that is actually what we eat directly affects how we feel in our brain and our brain chemistry. The research they did, actually, they took these subjects, overweight and obese patients, they put in a diet, was actually high fiber, low protein, and low glycemic diet for 6 months. But before that, they used MRI. They measured the brain response to high-calorie food, let's call it junk food, and low-calorie food, healthy food, and they put them on diet. After 6 months, they not only they lost weight, Dave, but they repeated that MRI. They saw significant changes in the brain response when they saw the picture of healthy food. That clearly indicates that actually the reward center now responding more favorably to the healthy food. But it's interesting enough, at the same time, notice that when they saw the picture of unhealthy food, this junk food, the brain response was significantly decreased. This is for the first time actually showing that when we are basically changing the diet, we can actually rewire the brain to start craving healthy food and less craving for unhealthy food. This is important there because especially if a person wants to lose weight and maintain weight, that's critical. Because forcing behavior changes people is very difficult. They are not going to stick to it. But if the brain chemistry changes, they start craving for healthy food, they're actually adopting a new lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that would be much easier for the person to actually follow these diets.
Interesting. Your body is really telling you that you want it and that you need it.
Correct. And this is interesting because by changing that, what we are saying to the body, basically, now you're not actually wired to always eat the junk food. You can actually, by introducing healthy food and involve some of the behavior also intervention in these patients, they amazing. Every one of them, they notice actually a chemical change the brain respond. And this for the first time that we see that is none of us, okay, I'm addicted to this. No, every behavior can be changed by changing our nutrition.
Awesome. It's a simple way to start and has some lasting consequences.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here, Dr. Shayesteh. If you'd like to talk to him about your diet, remember that first consultation is free. Give him a call, 729-9665.